You know, in the world of football, you've got your artists and you've got your clinical finishers. But what happens when you get both, all rolled into one incredible player? Today, we're diving into the career of Michel Platini, the French maestro they called Le Roi, the King. So, with a player like Platini, where do you even start? Well, you've got to begin with an achievement that just instantly puts him in the pantheon of the absolute greatest to ever play the game. Okay, think about this. Winning the Ballon d'Or, the award for the best player on the planet, that's a career-defining moment for anyone. But to win it 3 times in a row? That's something else entirely. That's not just greatness. That is a statement of absolute, unquestionable dominance. For 3 straight years, there was no debate about who ruled the world of football. And look, those individual awards, they don't just happen in a vacuum, right? They were the direct result of some incredible success at the club level, especially when he was wearing those iconic black and white stripes of Juventus. You can literally see his career just climbing, climbing, climbing. He starts out at Nancy, honing his craft. Then he makes the move to Saint-Étienne, and boom, he's a household name in France. But that transfer to Juventus in Italy, that's what launched him into the stratosphere. That's when he became a true global superstar. And at Juventus, wow, did he win? He was the absolute heart of that team. They dominated Italy, grabbing multiple league titles. And in 1985, they reached the pinnacle. They conquered Europe, winning the European Cup. Platini wasn't just some fancy player, he was a champion, plain and simple. But you know, as brilliant as he was for his clubs, it was what he did for the French national team, wearing that famous blue shirt, that truly cemented his status as a legend for an entire country. Just look at this number, 9. 9 goals in a single tournament. And let me just remind you, he was a midfielder. He didn't just help France win the 1984 European Championship on home soil, he practically willed them to victory. It is still, to this day, considered one of the greatest individual performances we have ever seen in a major tournament. And his overall record for France, just as impressive. 41 goals in 72 appearances. I mean, that's an amazing record for a pure striker. But for the team's playmaker, its captain, its creative engine, it's almost unheard of. He was both the architect and the finisher for his country. So, we've talked about all the trophies and the stats, but how did he play? What made him so captivating to watch? Well, that brings us to the pure artistry of his game. If one single skill defined Platini, it was his absolute mastery of the free kick. When he stood over a dead ball, whether it was 20 yards out or 30, that's roughly 18 to 27 meters, the entire stadium just held its breath. You just knew something special was about to happen. He turned set pieces into works of art. But his game was so much more than just the free kicks. He was this incredible creative force, a playmaker who could unlock any defense with a single pass. And yet he was also a prolific goalscorer himself. That blend of skills is what made him so incredibly unique. Add in his natural leadership on the field, and you've got the complete midfielder. But Platini's story didn't end when he retired. His influence on football continued long after he hung up his boots, taking him from the pitch right to the highest levels of power in the sport. It's amazing, really. He transitioned from being the general on the field, the captain and playmaker, to becoming one of the most powerful figures in all of world football. As UEFA president for 8 years, his decisions and his vision shaped the modern game as we know it in Europe. This quote just sums it all up perfectly. He wasn't just a great player in his own time. He was a trailblazer. His style, his vision, his intelligence on the ball, it influenced generations of playmakers who came after him, all trying to capture a bit of that Platini magic. So it really leaves us with this one fascinating question. When you combine that elite-level goal scoring, that sublime creativity, and that commanding leadership all in one midfielder, it really makes you wonder, in all the years since he retired, have we ever truly seen a player quite like Michel Platini?